Ladies, listen up. I need you to hear me today because a lot of y'all out here doing the wrong thing. I see it every day. Women chasing men like their worth depends on it, calling, texting, showing up uninvited, begging for attention, trying to force love from a man who ain't even thinking about committing. Let me tell you something, chasing a man is the quickest way to make him lose interest. I'm serious. When you chase a man, you're giving him power. You're giving him control over your happiness, and most men, they don't respect that. They don't value what comes too easy. You've got to understand this. Men are hunters by nature. They are wired to pursue, to earn, to work for what they want. When a woman chases, she reverses the roles, and all of a sudden, that man starts taking you for granted. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Steve, but I love him. I just want him to notice me, to care about me, to love me like I love him. And I get that. I understand the feeling. But love that's forced, attention that's begged for, that's not love. That's desperation. And let me tell you, desperate love don't keep a man. It drives him away. When you chase, you're basically telling him, you are the prize. I'm willing to bend, sacrifice, and run after you. That's not how it works, ladies. That's not how you make a man appreciate you. What you need to do instead is flip the script. Stop chasing. Stop texting first all the time. Stop calling first. Stop waiting around for him to show up. Live your life. Focus on yourself. Be busy with your goals, your dreams, your family, your friends, your growth. Be the woman who's thriving, who's full of life, who's confident and independent. A man notices that energy. That kind of woman is magnetic. And the amazing thing, when you stop chasing, something happens instantly. Suddenly, a man who may have been distant, indifferent, or careless starts paying attention. Suddenly, he's the one reaching out, trying to impress you, wondering why you're not available like before. Let me tell you something real. Men respect challenge. They respect a woman who knows her worth. They respect a woman who has standards and refuses to lower them just to get attention or love from someone who hasn't earned it. When you stop chasing, you're showing him that you are not a toy. You are not disposable. And your love is valuable. That right there, ladies, that is power. That is control. And when a man senses that power, when he senses that respect and self-worth, he reacts. He steps up. He starts acting differently because he sees the possibility of losing you. And men, we hate losing what we really want. That's the truth. You see, so many women think that showing love means giving constantly, giving attention, giving time, giving patience endlessly. But the reality is love is earned. Respect is earned. Effort is earned. If you give everything freely, without setting boundaries, without expecting anything in return, most men will take it for granted. And I'm not saying all men, but I'm saying enough men that this is a pattern worth understanding. You don't want to be the woman who's always chasing, always waiting, always hoping. That's a woman who's forgotten her power. That's a woman who's forgotten herself. And I want to break it down for you how this works instantly. The moment you stop chasing, the first thing you notice is silence. He's not calling. He's not texting. He's not showing up like he used to. And at first, you might feel anxious. You might think, oh, he's lost interest. But let me tell you, what's really happening is he's noticing your absence. He's realizing that he's not the center of your life anymore. He's realizing that you have boundaries, that your time is valuable, that your love isn't just sitting there waiting to be grabbed. And when that realization hits, men do what they're wired to do. They act. They start chasing because now you're the prize. Now you're the challenge. Now you're the woman worth fighting for. Some of you might think, Steve, what if he doesn't chase? What if he just walks away? Listen, if he walks away, he was never worth your time anyway. A man who truly values you, a man who truly loves you, he will notice when you step back. He will show up. He will change his behavior. But a man who doesn't respond to your self-respect and independence, that's not your loss. That's his. You just saved yourself a lot of heartbreak, a lot of wasted time, a lot of tears. And trust me, that's better than running after someone who doesn't appreciate you. Now, let me tell you something else about stopping the chase. When you stop chasing, you also stop losing yourself. So many women out here have their lives, their happiness, their confidence tied up in a man who doesn't deserve it. You start canceling plans. You stop doing what you love. You start worrying about what he's doing, who he's talking to, if he's thinking about you. And that's exhausting. That's stressful. That's not how you're supposed to live. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your life. You reclaim your happiness. You reclaim your power. And a man who sees that, he can't ignore it. He can't resist it. Ladies, this isn't just about love. This is about respect, about boundaries, about self-worth. A man is going to treat you the way you allow him to treat you. And the moment you stop allowing, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop giving free energy to someone who hasn't earned it, you'll see instant change. It doesn't happen slowly. It happens the moment you shift your mindset. You stop waiting for him. You stop needing him. You stop living for him. You live for you. And that, my sisters, is how you change the game. And let me remind you, confidence is key. Independence is magnetic. Self-respect is irresistible. Men are drawn to women who value themselves, who have boundaries, who know their worth. So if you want a man to change, if you want a man to step up, stop chasing. Be the prize. Live your life. Focus on your happiness, your goals, your dreams, and watch him notice. Watch him react. Watch him change. That's the power of a woman who knows her worth and refuses to settle for anything less than respect, love, and effort. And one last thing I'll say, ladies, don't just do this to manipulate a man. Do this because it's good for you. Do this because it teaches him what he's missing. Do this because it restores your energy and your self-respect. And once you do, oh, I promise you, the man who wasn't paying attention, he'll start noticing. He'll start caring. He'll start showing up. And all you had to do was stop chasing. Ladies, I want you to sit down and really hear me today, because there's a mistake I see far too many women making, and it's costing them their peace, their happiness, and even their love life. Too many of you are out here chasing men like your worth depends on it, like your value is measured by how much attention you can get from him. You're calling, texting, showing up, waiting for him to notice you, and in the process, you're giving away your power. I don't care how much you love a man. If you chase him, you're sending the wrong message. Men are hunters by nature. They're designed to pursue, to put in effort, to earn what they want. When you chase, you flip the script, and suddenly that man doesn't respect you like he should. He doesn't see you as the prize. He sees you as someone desperate for attention. And believe me, desperation isn't attractive. Now, I know some of you are saying, Steve, but I just want him to love me. I just want him to see me the way I see him. And I get that feeling. I truly do. But let me tell you something. Real love that has to be begged for isn't love. Attention that's forced isn't love. When you chase, you're basically telling him, you are the center of my world. My happiness depends on you. And that right there, ladies, is a fast track to being taken for granted. Men respect women who respect themselves. Men want to pursue women who are confident, independent, and full of life. When a woman chases, she loses the very thing that makes her magnetic, her self-worth, her confidence, her independence. So what do you do instead? Stop chasing. Stop calling first. Stop texting first. Stop making yourself too available. Focus on yourself. Live your life. Chase your dreams. Build your career. Spend time with your friends and take care of your health and happiness. Be that woman who is so full of life and so confident that a man can't help but notice. When you stop chasing, something amazing happens. Men start seeing you differently. Suddenly, that man who may have ignored you or taken you for granted starts putting in effort. He starts noticing the things he didn't notice before. He starts thinking, wait, why isn't she calling me? Why isn't she waiting around? Why isn't she doing what I want all the time? And right there, that's the moment the game changes. Now, let me tell you something else about men. They are wired to react to challenge. They are drawn to women who know their worth and don't settle for less. When you stop chasing, you're creating a challenge. You're showing him that love isn't something he can take for granted, that your time, your energy, your heart are not free to be wasted. And when a man senses that, he starts to act differently. He starts putting in effort. He starts trying to impress you. He starts realizing that he might lose you if he doesn't step up. And trust me, men hate losing what they really want. That's the truth. So many women think that love is about giving endlessly without boundaries. They think that showing love means being constantly available, constantly checking in, constantly accommodating. But I'm telling you, love is earned. Effort is earned. Respect is earned. If you give everything away freely without expecting anything in return, most men will take it for granted. And I'm not talking about all men, but enough men that you need to understand this pattern. You don't want to be the woman who's always running, always chasing, always hoping. You want to be the woman who holds her value, who has standards, who knows her worth, Let me break it down further. The moment you stop chasing, at first you might feel some anxiety. You might feel nervous, wondering if he's thinking about you, if he even cares. But let me tell you, what's happening is he's noticing your absence. He's realizing that you're not waiting around for him like before. He's realizing that your love, your attention, and your energy aren't free for the taking. And when that hits him, he reacts. He either steps up or he walks away. And if he steps up, that's exactly what you want. If he walks away, he was never worth your time anyway. You just saved yourself months, maybe years of stress and heartbreak. And don't get me wrong, I know it's not always easy. I know some of you have been hurt before. I know some of you feel like you have to chase to keep someone interested. But here's the thing, when you stop chasing, you also stop losing yourself. You stop canceling plans. You stop worrying about what he's doing, who he's talking to, if he's thinking about you. You reclaim your happiness, your independence, your energy. You reclaim your power. And a man who sees that, he can't ignore it. He can't resist it. He starts noticing, he starts caring, and he starts trying. Confidence is key. Independence is magnetic. Self-respect is irresistible. When you value yourself, men will value you. When you stop giving your energy away to someone who hasn't earned it, suddenly you become the prize, and men are wired to pursue the prize. That's how you change the game instantly. You don't have to yell. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to beg. You just live your life. You stay confident, and you show him that you're not available for free. And when a man sees that, he starts behaving differently immediately. He starts stepping up. He starts putting in effort. He starts realizing that losing you would be the biggest mistake of his life. Ladies, I want you to remember this. Your energy is valuable. Your love is valuable. Your time is valuable. And the moment you stop giving it away freely to someone who hasn't earned it, you take back your power. You stop chasing, you start living, and you watch a man's behavior change instantly. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to prove your worth. You just be you, fully confident, fully independent, fully alive. That's the secret. That's the strategy. And I promise you, when you do that, the man who wasn't paying attention will start noticing. He'll start trying. He'll start chasing you, and he'll do it because now you're the woman worth chasing. And let me say this one more time. Don't do it just to make a man chase you. Do it because it's good for you. Do it because it restores your self-respect. Do it because it reminds him that love and attention are earned. Do it because it makes you stronger, happier, and more confident. And when you do that, you'll see change instantly. You'll see a man's behavior shift, his interests grow, and his respect for you rise. And all you had to do was stop chasing. Ladies, let me talk to you real talk today, because I see too many of you out here doing the exact wrong thing when it comes to love. You're chasing men like your value depends on it, like your happiness is tied to whether he notices you, texts you back, or shows up when you want him to. And let me tell you, chasing a man is one of the fastest ways to make him lose interest, to make him take you for granted, and to make yourself feel small. Men are hunters. That's how God wired them. They are designed to pursue, to earn, to fight for what they want. When you chase, you flip the roles. And suddenly, he doesn't see you as the prize. He sees you as easy, as desperate, as someone who will bend over backward to give him what he wants. And trust me, desperation is the enemy of respect. I know some of you are thinking, but Steve, I just love him. I want him to see me, to appreciate me. And I understand that feeling. I really do. But let me tell you something straight up. Love that has to be begged for isn't love. Effort that has to be forced isn't effort. When you chase a man, you're basically telling him you're in control. My attention, my love, my energy are all yours to take. And that right there, ladies, is how a man starts taking you for granted. Men respect women who respect themselves. Men are drawn to women who are independent, confident, and full of life. When a woman chases, she loses her magnetism, her power, her self-worth. So what do you do instead? You stop chasing. Stop texting first all the time. Stop calling him every day. Stop making yourself too available. Start living your life. Focus on yourself. Work on your goals, build your career, spend time with your friends, take care of your health, invest in your happiness. Be that woman who has a life full of passion and joy, a woman who is confident and independent, a woman who radiates energy and self-respect. And here's the magic when you stop chasing. The man who might have ignored you or taken you for granted suddenly notices. He starts putting in effort. He starts paying attention. He starts realizing that he might lose something incredible. And believe me, men hate losing what they really want. That's how they're wired. Here's something important to understand. Men respond to challenge. They are attracted to women who are not easy to manipulate. Women who have boundaries, women who know their worth. When you stop chasing, you are creating a natural challenge. You are showing him that love isn't free, that your time and energy are valuable. And when a man senses that, he starts to act differently. He starts trying. He starts fighting for your attention. He starts making moves because he doesn't want to lose you. That's the instant change I'm talking about. It's not slow. It's not complicated. It happens the moment you shift your energy and your mindset. Now, I know some of you might feel nervous. You might worry. What if he stops caring? What if he walks away? And I'm here to tell you, if he walks away, he was never worth your energy, your time, or your love anyway. You just saved yourself months, maybe years, of heartbreak and stress. And if he doesn't walk away, if he starts chasing, that's exactly what you want. That's the moment when he finally sees you as the prize, when he realizes the value of the woman he has. So many women think showing love means giving constantly, without boundaries. They think being available all the time proves they care, but love is earned. Effort is earned. Respect is earned. If you give freely without expecting anything in return, many men will take it for granted. That's just reality. You don't want to be the woman who chases, waits, hopes, and sacrifices endlessly. You want to be the woman who knows her value, who holds standards, and who refuses to settle for less than respect and effort. Let me explain the process further. When you stop chasing at first, it may feel strange. You might feel anxious, wondering if he's thinking about you or even noticing your absence. But here's what's really happening. He's noticing. He's realizing that you are no longer at his disposal. He's realizing that you have boundaries, that your attention and your love are not free for the taking. And when that realization hits him, it sparks a change. He starts thinking, wait, what's going on? Why isn't she calling me? Why isn't she waiting around? And that right there is the turning point. That is when a man begins to act. He either steps up or walks away. And stepping up is exactly what you want, because that's respect, that's effort, that's attention earned. Don't forget, stopping the chase also stops you from losing yourself. 2, many women cancel plans, stuck doing what they love, obsess over what he's doing, who he's talking to, whether he's thinking of them. And that drains your energy, your happiness, your confidence. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your life. You reclaim your power. You reclaim your joy. And a man who sees that, he can't help but notice. He starts pursuing. Not because you begged, not because you forced, but because you became the woman he cannot afford to lose. Confidence is magnetic. Independence is irresistible. Self-respect is attractive. Men are drawn to women who value themselves, who set boundaries, who refuse to be taken for granted. When you stop giving your energy freely to someone who hasn't earned it, you instantly become the prize. And men are wired to pursue the prize. That's how you create change without saying a word. You don't manipulate. You don't beg. You just live your life with energy, confidence, and boundaries. And when a man sees that, he reacts immediately. He starts trying. He starts showing up. He starts respecting you in ways he never did before. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to do this to make him chase you. You do it because it's good for you. You do it because it restores your energy, your confidence, and your self-respect. You do it because it teaches a man what love, attention, and effort actually mean. And when you do, you'll see change instantly. You'll see a man who wasn't paying attention suddenly realize what he's been missing. You'll see him step up, show interest, and put in effort. And all you had to do was stop chasing, live your life, and value yourself. Ladies, your energy is priceless. Your love is valuable. Your time is sacred. The moment you start giving it freely to someone who hasn't earned it, you take back control. You stop chasing, you start living, and you watch a man's behavior change before your eyes. You don't have to say a word. You just become the woman worth chasing, confident, independent, and full of life. That's how you flip the script. That's how you make a man notice, care, and respect you instantly. Ladies, I need you to listen closely because this is a lesson too many women don't understand, and it costs them their peace, their happiness, and often their love life. Too many of you are out here chasing men, running after them like your value depends on their attention, calling, texting, waiting, hoping that they'll finally notice you. Let me tell you something real. When you chase a man, you give him power over you. And most men don't respect what comes too easy. Men are hunters. They are wired to pursue, to work for what they want, to earn the love and respect of a woman. When a woman chases, she flips that dynamic. Suddenly, he doesn't see her as the prize. He sees her as someone desperate, someone willing to bend over backward just to get his attention. And desperation, ladies, is not attractive. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Steve, I love him. I just want him to care about me the way I care about him. And I understand that feeling completely. But here's the thing. Love that has to be begged for isn't real love. Effort that has to be forced isn't genuine effort. When you chase a man, you're telling him, you are in control. My attention, my love, my time, they're all yours to take whenever you want. And when you do that, ladies, you lose respect. You lose your magnetism. Men respect women who respect themselves. Men are drawn to women who are independent, confident, and alive. When a woman chases, she loses all three, and that's when men stop valuing her the way she deserves to be valued. So what should you do instead? Stop chasing. Stop texting first. Stop calling him. Stop making yourself available at all hours of the day. Instead, focus on yourself. Live your life. Pursue your goals. Nurture your friendships. Invest in your passions. Take care of your health and build your confidence. Be that woman who is thriving, who is magnetic, who radiates self-respect and independence. The moment you do that, something remarkable happens. A man who may have ignored you, who may have taken you for granted, suddenly notices. Suddenly, he starts putting in effort. Suddenly, he's the one reaching out, wondering why you're not waiting around like you used to. And that's when the shift happens instantly. Men are wired to react to challenge. They are drawn to women who have boundaries and won't settle for less than they deserve. When you stop chasing, you create a natural challenge. You're showing him that your attention, your love, and your energy are not free for the taking. When a man senses that, he begins to act differently. He starts trying. He starts showing up. He starts thinking, wait a minute, I can't lose her. I need to make her mine. And ladies, that is the instant change I'm talking about. You don't have to beg. You don't have to manipulate. You just live your life with confidence, self-respect, and independence. And the man reacts because he finally sees the woman worth fighting for. Now, I know some of you might feel nervous about this. You might wonder, what if he stops caring? What if he walks away? And I'll tell you the truth. If he walks away, he was never worth your time, your energy, or your love. You just saved yourself months, maybe years, of heartbreak. And if he doesn't walk away, if he starts chasing, that's exactly what you want. That's when he begins to respect you, appreciate you, and value you the way you deserve. So many women think that showing love means giving endlessly, being available constantly, adjusting their lives around a man's schedule. But love is earned. Effort is earned. Respect is earned when you give freely without boundaries or expectations. Many men will take it for granted. That's the truth. You don't want to be a woman who chases endlessly, hoping, waiting, and sacrificing. You want to be the woman who knows her worth, who sets boundaries, and who refuses to settle for anything less than respect, love, and effort. When you stop chasing, you'll notice the first changes in yourself. You reclaim your confidence, your peace, your happiness. You stop canceling plans to wait for him. You stop obsessing over what he's doing or who he's with. You stop giving your energy away to someone who hasn't earned it. And when a man sees that transformation, he can't help but notice. He sees that you're independent, full of life, and not waiting around for him. That's magnetic. That's irresistible. And that's when he starts stepping up. Not because you begged, not because you forced it, but because you became the woman he can't ignore. Confidence is key. Independence is powerful. Self-respect is magnetic. Men are drawn to women who value themselves, who know their worth, who set standards and boundaries. When you stop giving freely to someone who hasn't earned it, you become the prize. Men are wired to pursue the prize. That's how you change the game instantly. You don't manipulate, you don't beg, you just live your life fully, happily, and confidently. And when a man sees that, he reacts immediately. He starts trying, he starts showing up. He starts realizing that losing you would be the biggest mistake of his life. And let me remind you, you don't have to do this just to make a man chase you. Do it for yourself. Do it because it restores your energy, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth. Do it because it teaches him the value of love, attention, and effort. Do it because it makes you stronger, happier, and more attractive. And when you do that, you'll see instant change. You'll see a man who wasn't paying attention suddenly realize what he's been missing. You'll see him step up, show interest, and put in effort. And all you had to do was stop chasing, live your life, and honor yourself. Ladies, your energy is priceless. Your love is valuable. Your time is sacred. The moment you stop giving it away to someone who hasn't earned it, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing, you start living, and you watch a man's behavior transform before your eyes. You don't have to say a word. You just become the woman worth chasing, confident, independent, and fully alive. That's how you flip the script. That's how you make a man notice, care, and respect you instantly.